What's going on, guys? Eric here and welcome to the channel. In this video I'll be doing a comparison of VVivid's new Tech R carbon fiber vinyl against 10 other carbon fiber vinyls out there to see which one looks the most realistic and which one looks the best. This is just going to be a close-up look of this vinyl versus other vinyls out there to see which one looks the most realistic and has the best look of a carbon fiber vinyl that's out there today. Like I said earlier, I'll be testing this new vinyl against 10 other big brand name vinyls out there to see which one looks the best. And with that, let's go ahead and get started with the comparison. So I've got my sample piece cut here of the new Tech R carbon fiber vinyl. This is just a 1 foot by 1 foot sample. This film was released, I believe, in late 2021. It's a replacement from their previous version, which was in the XPO series. This is on the VVivid Premium Plus series, and may even fall into its ultra gloss line. I'd have to double check that to be sure, just given that how shiny the gloss top coat of this, or the laminate, is on this film. Right now it has a protective cap on it, which is why you see those wrinkles there, and that's to help during installation and protecting the film during shipping as well. This film, it's a multi-layered film, meaning that this pattern of the carbon fiber is not printed. This is actually, I believe it's a textured vinyl as one of the layers of the multi-layer, with a laminate on top and the adhesive layer underneath. It is not a floating laminate, so this is a true waterproof vinyl that can be used for exterior and interior. And what I mean by that is other cheap eBay style carbon fiber vinyls utilize a floating lam, and they look good and they look nice, but as soon as you put it in water, because it's a floating lam, water gets in there and starts to separate, and basically the vinyl comes apart over time. This does not do that. So like I said, this has a protective plastic cap on it, which I'll peel here in just a second. It's the backing paper is on their Premium Plus line. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this off, and then you'll see how shiny the gloss is on this carbon fiber film. It's super glossy. I don't know if the camera is doing it justice, but to my eye, looking at this almost looks like it's wet, like epoxy was just poured on top of it. Hopefully the camera is picking up some of the depth of the way the pattern looks on this. Like I said, this is not a printed pattern. It's like a weave almost, and I don't know if I can get in close enough here and keep it focused, but through the laminate, which again, it looks like a clear coat top coat on it, I can see very, very fine lines within each of the weave textures. So it almost looks like it's an actual carbon fiber weave under here. So just looking at this, it's super realistic, almost has a metallic-y look to it, just the way that it's reflecting light. You can see how shiny this is based on you can see my ring light reflections and my other auxiliary light that I'm using to light up the videoing area here. So I'll try to get this up close and focused in a little bit better. But the depth of this is it's pretty amazing. It looks really good. If I peel it back a little bit, you can see the air release pattern. It's the newer style. It's kind of the smaller diamond or square shaped pattern. You can see it, hopefully you see it on the backing paper as well. The adhesive is a grayish color. Maybe that's what kind of gives it sort of that metallic-y look on the other side here. But it is a clear adhesive as well. It's not very sticky. You can see my thumbs just coming right off of it. I know that on the old series of Tech R, under the XPO line, the old series stuff it looked really good, but it was really sticky, really thick. This film it's definitely thicker than other films for sure. But it doesn't feel like overly thick. Alright, so that's an up-close look of the new VVivid Tech R gloss carbon fiber film. So we'll be taking a look at other carbon fiber films from big manufacturers and small manufacturers, or bigger name manufacturers and smaller name manufacturers, to give it a comparison to see how theirs looks compared to this new Tech R carbon fiber film by VVivid. This carbon fiber sample is 3M 2080. You can see that it's 2080 based on the backing paper received. This is the label. I ordered this through MetroRestyling, and Thankfully, they labeled each of the different samples that I ordered from them because I got a lot, and some of them are hard to tell what's what. Anyway, so you can see that 3M looks, it's a nice looking carbon fiber film. It's been around for a while. 2080 is a new series of film that was released maybe about a year or two ago by 3M, upgrade to their 1080s. I think they had improved the adhesive, like the durability of the film. But regardless, you can see that this is a textured film. When you feel it, you can actually feel the bumps and ridges of the weave pattern. But also, you can notice that it's more of a matte or a satin finish. It's not glossy. And again, you can feel the texture of it, and you can kind of hear that as well. Comparing it to VVivid's carbon fiber vinyl, and I'll try to put the weave together to look the same. You can see that the VVivid is significantly glossier, and it's smooth because of the gloss coat on top, so it doesn't have that scratchy sound because of the texture. And to me, the VVivid actually, it looks more like what you would see on carbon fiber hoods because they tend to be generally gloss or clear coated, just like the VVivid has that look, but the 3M does not. This next sample is Avery SW900, their carbon fiber. The labeling, again, ordered through MetroRestyling. This is a lot like the 3M and KPMF and other big name carbon fiber or vinyl wrap producers that make carbon fiber vinyls. This one is again a textured film, and you can feel it as you touch it, and you can hear it when I scratch on it. I've used this before. It's a nice film. It's a little thinner in my opinion than the 3M. It's definitely thinner than the VVivid vinyl, but you can see that it is, it's not super glossy or super shiny. It's a little bit more shiny than the 3M vinyl, but definitely not anything to the extent of the VVivid carbon fiber vinyl. Again, this is a textured vinyl that has more of a dry look, and then comparing it to 3M carbon fiber, you can see the difference in the way the two films look in terms of shine, sheen, and depth. So that's Avery. Here I have a sample from KPMF. And like 3M and like Avery, this is also a textured carbon fiber vinyl. The patterning in this does look a little bit different than the Avery and 3M. If I look closely, and I'm not sure if the camera will pick this up, the patterning within the weave kind of has these fine micro lines in them, or what look like little micro lines, or some additional texture in it. Whereas the weave patterning in the 3M and Avery did not have, basically the pattern weave looked smoother on the surface of it, whereas this looks like it does have some sort of texture within the weave pattern. More of a dry look, maybe a satinish look, definitely not glossy like the carbon fiber vinyl from VVivid, the new Tech R. And then holding the two together just for a comparison. So that's KPMF. This sample piece is by Oracal, another big name vinyl wrap producer, also known as Oracal in some areas. This is their 975 automotive series. And so you can see, like 3M and Avery and KPMF, this is also a textured vinyl. It's this one looks a lot like the Avery carbon fiber vinyl to me, to my eye. It is textured as well, and it does kind of have the smooth weave pattern to it. Compared to, it is a dry look, satinish look, but comparing it to VVid's new Tech R, you can see the difference in the glossiness and the depth of the two films. So that's Oracal 975. Alright, so let's compare a generic eBay high gloss carbon fiber vinyl. I've just picked up this 5D carbon fiber fiber vinyl, excuse me. You can see that it looks wrinkly because it does come with a protective cap on top of it, so I'll go ahead and peel that as well. On the surface, it does look good. I mean, it almost looks like it's a textured carbon fiber vinyl. I've had this one for a little bit, but let me tell you that you can already see the quality of the vinyl itself here. See this white gap? This vinyl, when I cut it, and I've had this for almost a year now, when I cut it was to the edge, all the way to the edge here. So this vinyl on the backing paper in climate controlled conditions, meaning inside in a temperature between 65 to 70 degrees at all times, has shrunk 1/8 to almost 1/4 of an inch on the backing paper. Anyway, that's beside the point. Let's take a look at how it looks. So it actually looks pretty good. I mean, it looks like it has a texture in the weave itself, and then it's coated by a laminate on top. And so, sorry, what's happening here, why you see these wrinkles here, is because I've had it rolled up for about a year, and it's starting to what's called tunnel. And what that is it starts to bubble as it's been rolled up after a little bit of being in storage, and it presents itself as these wrinkles now. But also, I think part of it's because the vinyl has shrunk back up, that it's bunching together. Anyhow, so it does look pretty good. It's got a gloss finish to it, but it doesn't seem like it's as glossy as the VVivid Tech R. So I'll put the two together to take a look at the difference here. And so you can see that in this case, in this camera view that I'm looking through the screen, the eBay stuff looks like it's, you know, a little bit more vibrant. You can kind of see the weave pattern popping out more as the light hits it, compared to the VVivid. Like I said, the VVivid still does, it pops out nicely as well. So this one might be a close one in terms of looks goes, but definitely something to consider if you're going to buy a cheap eBay no-name vinyl. There's a reason why it costs as much as it does. So just taking a look at this here. So that's a eBay generic 5D carbon fiber vinyl. So here I have a printed carbon fiber vinyl by MetroRestyling, and this is their Real D series, and they have two different Real D series, Real D and Real D 2.0. So this is Real D. This one is printed on 3M control tack vinyl, so it's a 3M vinyl, but they've printed onto it. And if I come up close, it has a nice good gloss, a nice glossy top to it. But looking at the carbon fiber pattern, as you look close, you can definitely tell it's a print. I mean, it looks nice, you know, from far away, but when you get close, it's definitely a print. I mean, it's no comparison. You can easily tell this is a print just by looking at it. Comparing it to the to VVivid, the Real D is nice and shiny, but the depth compared of a printed, and again that's printed because it is essentially just a two-dimensional image, compared to the VVivid carbon fiber Tech R, no comparison. So I mean, it's nice looking. So this may be an option if you don't want to get, you know, something like this and you want maybe a brand name like 3M. So this may be a nice option, but as far as realism looks, when it looks good from afar, but when you get close, it's not necessarily the most realistic looking carbon fiber vinyl. Here I have Metro's Real D 2.0. Again, this is they have two series of Real D carbon fiber vinyl. This is printed on 3M as well. It looks good. It's got a nice shiny top to it, laminate on it. But as you get closer to it, it definitely does look printed as well. The difference between this and their Real D, the printed image of their carbon fiber weave looks sharper in my opinion, and then like the light gray looks more light gray to kind of give it in my opinion, maybe a higher contrast. So also, hopefully the camera can pick this up, the print itself looks pretty blocky. I don't know, maybe that's just the way that the design looks. So let's compare this to VVivid's Tech R carbon fiber vinyl, and you can see like how wide the patterning is on the Real D 2.0 versus the VVivid carbon fiber Tech R. Again, here is where the depth of the Tech R's pattern really stands out compared to a print pattern like this one. So it's pretty nice. It's okay, if you're okay with a printed vinyl. So this is Metro Real D 2.0. And here we have another printed vinyl, and this is Metro Nemesis series. And again, this one is printed on 3M. And this is a print carbon fiber vinyl. This is a little different from their Real D and 2.0, where the print pattern is much smaller. It actually even has almost like a silver, sparkly effect to it, and I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up. So it looks nice. It looks pretty realistic from a couple feet away, like an arm's length away. But as you get up close to it, you can definitely tell that it is a print. But from far away, it actually looks way better than in my opinion, way better than the Real D and Real D 2. The patterning looks a little bit tighter, a little bit more what I'm used to seeing for other carbon fiber vinyls. Let's compare it to VVivid's Tech R, and so here's the two together. So it looks pretty close, and I think what's helping the MetroRestyling is the kind of that silvery, I don't know, flake that they have in it that adds a little bit of reflectiveness, sparkling to it. But when I look at it to my eye, and I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but to my eye, the depth and the effect of the pattern in the Tech R just is way better and more realistic in my opinion compared to this printed one. So Metro Nemesis print on 3M, it does look pretty nice, so this may be a good alternative if you're looking at a printed style of carbon fiber, but definitely not the most realistic looking, even though it does look pretty good. So this will be an interesting comparison. I have a piece of VVivid's True R carbon fiber vinyl. I've used this a lot in the past. I've been really happy with it. I like using it. It's got a good look. It is a textured vinyl as well. You can see that it's more of a semi-gloss, satiny sheen. It's a lot like the 3M Avery and the other ones that are kind of a dry look. The patterning in this, and hopefully the camera can see it better or focus in on it well, the weave texture does have texture within it as well, which helps create kind of a reflective look to it. So this to me looks really good, even though it doesn't have the gloss, which is why I like this film and like using it. But it's almost like the Tech R, but without the super glossy laminate top on top of it. You can see that the depth of this dry carbon fiber or unglossed laminated carbon fiber vinyl compared to the Avery, 3M, KPMF, Oracal does have more depth to it already right off the bat. And so let's compare this to the VVivid's Tech R, and it's almost as if, aside from the color difference where the Tech R looks a little bit more gray, aside from the color difference, it's the depth of both there. This one is just looks like it's just without the laminate on top, and this one looks almost like it's the Tech R or True R, excuse me, with a really glossy epoxy-like clear coat on top. So that is VVivid's True R. Here's another interesting comparison. This is actually the previous or old generation VVivid Tech R. You can see that the backing paper is on their XPO backing paper versus the new stuff, which is on their Premium Plus backing paper. The old stuff, you can see it does have a protective cap on it as well. Peel this off, and you can see that it is also super shiny, very glossy. It does have a nice depth to it as well. If if I peel this comparison as I peeled it, the other Tech R, the new Tech R, you can see that, or at least I can see, hopefully you can see in the camera, that the adhesive pattern is different. It's more of a, almost looks like dinosaur skin kind of pattern to it. And it's on the backing paper as well. So, how does this look compared to the new Tech R? Actually, very, very close. And I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but to my eye, just looking at the two together, the new Tech R does actually have more depth to it. It's kind of hard to explain. There's more of a, I don't know, the pattern underneath the gloss top part is, you know, kind of shining more, if you will, and hopefully you can see it as it's doing it right here towards the middle bottom of the screen. You can see that the new Tech R definitely, at least to my eye, has a lot more depth to it. It's popping out more. The patterning is popping out more than the old Tech R between the two. So that's kind of an interesting comparison here of the old Tech R versus the new Tech R. So this is VVivid Tech R, the old XPO series, which is now, I believe, superseded by this new series. Alright guys, so I've shown you what this looks like up close. I'd be interested to see what one you think looks the best and most realistic of the ones that I've shown here. Now keep in mind there are other carbon fiber vinyls that are out there. I just wasn't able to get samples for those to do this test comparison. But of the ones that I've shown you here today in this video, which one do you think looks the most realistic carbon fiber vinyl out there in your opinion? Drop some comments in the description in the comment section below. Alright guys, so I hope this video has been helpful for you in deciding, at least subjectively, which carbon fiber vinyl out there in the market looks the most realistic and the best, at least in your opinion. If you found this video to be helpful, informative, instructive, entertaining in some way, please give it some love by hitting that thumbs up button. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification button so you get notices whenever I post new content to the channel. Got more videos in the works and on the ways that I'd love to share with you. Thanks again for watching guys, have a great day.